Welcome, one and all, everybody, to another day of doing stuff. Stuff's on. Okay, so today we're continuing with the alphabet. Today's an easier one because it's L. There's not too much to go with an L. You can either roll the guy this direction and then back out this way and have it go up here, or it can pop up and then go up this way and then go this way. I think it might just be up and then this way, and then have them both come back down in that direction, just for a little bit more predictable of something. But I do think I want to have it twist in a bit so it can do like a full 1, 2, maybe, I think 1, 2, I think 2 times around. So it immediately goes, starts twisting as it goes up, twist, twist, and then this way it pushes and twists in that direction as well. Okay, pretty simple for an L, not too much going on with it. I am recording. Now let's start sketching. I'll get a little bit tighter in here now. You did see my art on Fiona Apple's shirt. If you read the article, you can see a few different things. So I did the video for Shamika. And then she asked about, because she had that pitchfork interview, she asked about the possibility of me sending her some shirts because she was styling herself, and I did, and she did, and she wore them, and it's cool to see them in that situation. I did not she asked about sending a few shirts, and sent her some stuff, but I didn't make it into like a dress or a skirt sort of thing. That was all her. And then another shirt, she took the sleeves off of it, which she asked before anything. She was well aware of being kind, cautious, and all that bit. So if this is twisting, it's gonna pull a bit in a direction. I think I might just have this one go straight this way, and then have it twist these other spots. Let's see if I can. Oh, expecting some packages, so be right back. There's actually someone reading the gas meter. Yeah, it's lit under there. There's a good chance that I have to take a moment and go sign for a package in a minute. Let's try to move quickly and say hello, Faisal. I went upstairs and downstairs faster than I should have, and I've not been as physically active this past year or so. This year. I think I might do a slightly different variation. I think it's too tight of a twist. I think it'll work better if it's instead a job I'm a freelance animator, artist, and such. I do not know how to say what it is that you requested. It would probably I'd give it more of a go if I had a general understanding of what it might mean. I just don't like to be told to say things without having an idea of what it might mean to someone else specifically. I'm guessing you're in Turkey. I've never been to Turkey, but Dad went on vacation there not too long ago. He went to Istanbul. Hello, Eve. Hello, Ice. Ace? I'm not sure how to say your name. But another. Apologize if confusing the Turkish flag with another country's flag. There's a chance I have to hop off, or not hop off, but run out of the room for a minute later on when I actually have that package delivered. So now we're going to start. I'm working backwards, as I've been doing with these guys. So the idea was up and out. So working backwards, I have to go from the out and then the up. Not too much of the one below. told you. How many FPS are my animations usually? Usually 15 frames per second. Which is a bit out of a frame rate, but it's because I started off rotoscoping animation on the 2s, or rotoscoping footage on the 2s, and I was working from 15 frames per second. Hello, Nadia. Dia. L is for loop, or lean. Just gonna call it lean. Hola, Rovan. Hello, Artemaniamus. I've had some art bits here and there that other people have. Not so much. Like I have friends that have worn my stuff or promoted my things. It's exciting to see it in a more official seeming capacity that has a wider reaching audience. can see the shapes sort of dancing. It's moving around. My day's been fine. Called Canon support to see if they could help me with my scanner at all. Kinda did, but I don't know. I haven't really put it to the test yet. I'll see if it works better. Or not. Answered some emails, had some lunch, took a shower. Daily routine stuff. Waiting on some stuff to arrive. I wasn't looking forward to K. I'm not looking forward to X, just because any letter where you... X is weird because you lift up and cross back around. And so in order to do that as a straight line, it's awkward. And Q might be a little bit weird. I might have to treat Q more as like a cursive Q. I like working this way. Oh, what's my favorite letter animation so far? I don't know. I like the A. I think I took a little bit more time and preciousness with it. And I like J. I like the B as well. It's just different aspects and small things that I see in the letters and such. I don't necessarily have the most objective viewpoint on what letter is what, because I've worked on them, so there's a solid chance that whatever frustrations or issues I had in the process of creating them might spill over into my own experiences or my own judgment of the quality of the items. This is an L. Right now it's working backwards. Say her name is in reference to Breonna Taylor, a woman who was shot and killed by police in her home in Louisville, Kentucky earlier this year. One of the many victims of police violence in the United States. One. This is going to be a shorter animation because L isn't as complex of a movement. 02, 03, 04, 05, 6, 7, 08, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that action was going up and then over. So because this one went first, I'm going to start bringing this one back down and then this one sort of simultaneously once it gets about the same position. I guess you've got a little bit more. I was going to say you got Lou in your name. Lucy. Oh. These will combine. That's why they all start and end with that same little guy down here. They can stitch together or potentially be strung together to spell things out. As much as anything, it's something of an exercise. I've done a couple stories where I've stitched some letters together, but Instagram works more as like a feed sort of thing, so you see things in succession. So if I were to post the same starting point and then like having it extend to show the additional letters at the tail end, it would probably confuse people and they'd think that they were repeating a viewing. And so I'm sticking to just isolated things. Hola, Javier. This sort of face comes about. I got more into it a few years ago. Hasn't been my go-to, but it's adaptable, and that's what I like about it. That I can explore a lot of simple movements and apply it to a lot of different mediums pretty easily, or a lot of different motions. But this face is a mixture of masks and what barn owls look like. Having that arc that goes around. Thank you. This letter, what it's going to do, so it spins as it twists as it goes up, but as it's coming down, it's just going to pull tight, and so it'll end up sort of squishing down this direction, then bouncing and settling back is the idea. I'm going to have this advance to about this size, and then they're both going to they're going to accelerate together, and then push down in that direction. So once this gets down, I guess one more frame after this. Anyone? Fiona Apple was very nice for my interactions with her. Was very aware of things, of being considerate. Didn't actually meet her in person, it was just through emails and such. But back and forth, she gave input, but it was pretty open for what my creative input was. It's not rude to ask, at least I don't feel that it's rude. But that's directed at me. I could see potentially it seeming rude if it was implying that she wasn't nice in your question. But she was very kind. Coming up with a new idea depends on what it is. What I've sort of set up here makes it pretty easy for me to work on stuff because I've got the format of letters. So I have a general structure of things. So when I'm working on stuff, most days, right now, if it's an animation, I just know more or less what it is that I'm working on. Thank you, Billy Twerking. How would I feel about someone getting my art tattooed? So long as you ask, I don't care. If you ask, then I can confirm that it's work that I have the ownership to distribute, and that it's not something particularly personal or work that I did for a brand or a client, because then I'd pass you along to them if it's that. But most of the time those works are pretty branded, and if it's of someone other than myself, then I'd have to ask that person for permission. There are a few people who have tattoos of my work. The only one I've seen in person is my friend who got a good chunk of his forearm tattooed. He put down his arm, did a general tracing, and then whatever. Oh, package. Forgot that you came home for the security bit. It's pandemic Christmas time, which means online orders. Okay. These letters have been taking about 3 to 4 hours each, but this one is going a bit faster because it's a simpler animation. There's not as much happening because the L is a little bit more linear. Where do I get all these ideas from? I don't know. I think about stuff sort of passively a lot of the time. While I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna just be back in a sec. Sit down 4 hours drawing. This is L. I've only been working on this one for about 50 minutes, but then I got to go back in and fill it in. But 3 to 4 hours is not bad for animation to get a few seconds. Animation is very time consuming. And it's a song reference. Billy twerking. You say it makes me want to say William twerking, which sounds a little bit fancier. L is for the way that you. O is the. V is very, very extraordinary. Is even more than anyone. I don't know how many sheets I'm gonna draw. This one will probably be like 35. Simply don't know. Who's my favorite celebrity? I don't know. Why am I angry? Oh, I just got rid of the still because it had a mark on it and it's mildly frustrating, so I just get rid of it. Probably doesn't show up on the compression, but there's like a little dot from the previous frame. I'm from America. Hello in India. I realize I don't know how to say hello in Hindi or anything like that, but I'd try. No, the only thing that I know are some foods. That. Have a good day, J Swans. Do I have other talents? You heard me singing. It was beautiful. Namaste. Has a different context for, like, it sounds kind of... Namaste. Most of the time that you hear people say namaste in America, it's, I don't have to do what Billy Twerking tells me to. I'm working. I'm not twerking. Namaste is usually people who are like doing yoga or stuff. I do know that, like, I know some people who did I design the print for the clothes Fiona Apple is wearing in her interview for Pitchfork. I designed them. It's a mix. Some of them are screen prints, some of them are direct-to-garment printing, and then a couple of them are just ones that I painted. She asked about me sending her some shirts, and I just sent her some shirts that I had, and I wanted to give a variety. And so some of them are old shirts of mine, some of them are ones that I had made but never sold, and then some are just some new shirts. But for the timeline, I just had to send her things that I already had. Do you love anime? I like anime, okay. I don't know too much anime. Most of what I know is like feature-length films. I haven't ever gotten into too much by means of animated TV shows. How did I get into streaming on Instagram? I was curious about streaming at different points. If there's a new feature that gets introduced on platforms that I use, I'll usually try it out. And I found different advantages of it. It's a good way to be accountable. It's like the hardest thing about anything is consistency, at least for me. Like, it's easy to do something one time or 5 times or maybe even 10 or 20 times, but to do something 90 times consistently daily, I have to have some form of accountability typically. And in the case of live streams, it gives an accountability. and sort of format to things. What's my job? I'm a freelance animator, artist. I make stuff. How am I feeling? I'm feeling okay. I have used Twitch before, but I don't have as much of a following there, and then I just I gave up before I had really committed anything to it. So I might get back to that at some point now that I've found a little bit more consistency with how I can present streaming and such. And I've gotten a bit more comfortable with it, so I might transition back to that, and then it would just be there, and then I'd capture the output and push it to the same platforms, but I have to rotate some things. That's about it. Part of getting into streaming was that for the Fiona Apple video, I did process stuff, and I liked how it turned out. I was using a GoPro to record most of that. And so this is a different recording process. What are my dreams? To be successful. I guess I'm successful. To just continue to create. Something that I was waiting for a long time to do was to have a music video full length. That was something I felt proud of, and like there was a budget for the creation of it, and I got that with the Fiona Apple video. So I don't know what the next thing would be. Maybe to try and structure something more narrative. Good night. I don't know how to say goodbye or good night, and I'm not sure if you speak Hindi or something else, but I don't know. The definition of success changes as you get older and shift. I think just being happy and being able to be comfortable and provide for the people you care about in some way, shape, or form. I do have a YouTube channel. It's pretty much just recordings of these live streams. So if you want to see previous streams and not have to wait for things to happen in the same way, you can do that by just search TraceLoops on YouTube and it should pop up. There's a bunch of these live streams happening there. You could also try streaming on YouTube, but a lot of it is just me not being patient enough and putting in the work to reformat for those platforms. We've already spent a good amount of time and effort to try and establish some sort of following here. I can't play music and stream at the same time because I'll be taken down, and it means that the recording that I have of this will also not get approved for YouTube. If I'm working without streaming, then I'll listen to music. Hello, Sarah. Three. I have put a bunch of, or any of the songs that I have on Reels. I've compiled those into a Spotify playlist that you can check out. I linked to it at some point, but I don't know if it would pop up if you search TraceLoops or not. You're sad? It's not fun to be sad. Singing. I'll sing when it comes up. Thanks, Ace. 35. I think that's the last of these tools. Over here. For the sake of the time lapse. Okay. 4. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. I did not see the Pantone color of the year. People who draw tone silent depends. I think a lot of the time while drawing, people tend to be a little bit quieter. There are also some super loud people who create art. Hello, two peculiar boys. Hola in Mexico. I think you were in Mexico. Wait, were you in Chile? No, Chile was someone else. Someone's using some sort of saw outside. A very powerful weed whacker. Some sort of spinning tool, it sounds like. I am getting closer to being done, but I still have at least half an hour before I then scan, and hopefully my scanner isn't acting up. It'll be a bit before I finish. I want to see the final result as well. I will post it. Don't feel like you have to keep watching in order to see it. Thank you, TJ Nardi. Hello, Flav Linares. Flav. I sell some versions of it. The logistics of selling the stills I haven't worked out. It would have to be like some days I work and some days I just facilitate the production and or the organization and sales of things. I look enjoyed. It's hard to say how long it took to learn something like this because it's a mixture of skills that ultimately combined. Got a little bit colder here. It's snowed a little bit today. My name is not traced. It's just what folks say in the live streams. If you want to find out, you can look stuff up, but I prefer not to just announce it. Don't like saying my name and age in this sort of format. It feels like I'm giving away personal information very readily. This is what I do for the most part, but I do a variety of things. Right now I'm focused on this as a project, so for the next month and change, you're probably only going to see this specific sort of bit. Hello. It's just a slow process. We're about halfway done with filling in stuff. But each frame is going to take a bit longer at this point because we have a more full letter. There are more parts to fill in at this point. Hello, Liana. If you want to watch animations in quick playback, you can look at my reels here on Instagram. You can also go to YouTube and skip around to where you don't have to watch it in real time. You can watch it in real time, but then you can fast forward or skip ahead. Where did I get these glasses? When did I get these glasses? I got them like a month ago or something. I haven't had them for too long. I just decided to buy some additional glasses and I was looking for other ones that are like simple shapes that are like outline sort of things, but like geometric a little bit more so. And circles seem to be the only ones that I like the look of it, and it's a geometric form. Because if it's like rectangular, it's sort of predictable, but round glasses a little bit this way. They're also cheaper glasses. These glasses are like $20 with the prescription lenses. They don't have any coatings on them, but pretty cheap. I could get coatings if I want, but I was like, I don't know if I like these. When I first put them on, I felt like I looked British or like a mouse that like studied in a library or something. Like if there's a movie or a TV show or something where there's an anthropomorphized mouse that's in a library doing some research. They got simple round glasses. Either that or like half moon glasses. John Lennon has had round glasses. There are some architects that have had round glasses. Le Corbusier. He had round glasses and inspired other ones to have. Nice, Felix Cortez. I started a playlist recently that's just all the stuff that I feature in the reels that I'm posting. I don't know if you search TraceLoops if it'll pop up on Spotify, but if you look for my user, which is Can I Kicked It, CANIKICKEDIT, Can I Kicked It, stuff should pop up. I am using ink. I'm using Sumi ink, SUMI ink, and the brand is Yasutomo. Sumi ink is a Japanese ink. I was trying to look at the history of it a little bit, and it's something that's like an adapted Chinese ink. There's a lot of Japanese stuff that's adapted or based on Chinese things. Because China is big and old. Contributed a lot of stuff into the world. Paper, gunpowder, compass, printing. They did a lot of printing. I think Johann Gutenberg and his press was a printing press that had movable type. I think that was like the big change there. Not 100% sure, but there were other forms of printmaking that existed beforehand. Just different applications. There are a few different playlists for Can I Kicked It, but I have a playlist that's like TraceLoops stuff or something on Spotify. Posted a link to it in my stories a few days ago, but I have not posted about it again. Right now, with all of these letters, I'm trying to choose songs that start with the same letter. So the most recent one was Kill Your Coworkers by Flying Lotus. The paper that I'm using is called tracing paper, and you can buy it at most art stores, or you can buy it online. This I bought in pretty decent sized bulk for an animation project, and I'm just continuing to use it because I still have a few hundred sheets left. I do not know the brand offhand, but depending on how much tracing paper you need, some of the easiest to deal with is if you get a pad of tracing paper, and brands that I like for that are like Canson, Faber-Castell, or Strathmore. But you can also buy more generic. The only risk with buying more generic tracing paper is that sometimes if it's super cheap, what you're actually getting is something that's more similar to tissue paper. So it is transparent, but it does not hold up to any sort of handling or mediums, or if you put anything wet on it or like draw on it with a pencil, it just tears it because it's not very strong. But just like if you're buying it from an online retailer, check the reviews to see if anyone's like, this is very thin, not really like tracing paper, more like tissue paper, because there will be people who talk about that in the review section. And it'll probably be a little bit more expensive than like copier paper. It'll be a bit more expensive. Copy or print paper. Dracula's Wedding by Outkast. That's off of Speakerbox / The Love Below, I think, which is a double album. If you're looking for more like that, then I'd go to that album. Specifically, The Love Below. It was a double album where Andre 3000 and Big Boy worked together, but they sort of had like, it was a double album, so it was sort of split up. Like Speakerbox was more Big Boy, and The Love Below was more Andre 3000. So if you're looking for more that has that sort of thing, The Love Below is the half of that double album that you would probably enjoy more. It has a bit more, it's a bit less southern hip-hop centric. It still has a lot of those in bits of it because they're important in southern hip-hop, but that one, Andre, was getting a little bit more experimental, a little bit more concept album-like. You also might like, well, Janelle Monáe has gained a lot of popularity in the past several years, but her first full-length album, you might enjoy it, has more concept stuff to it, Arch Android. And I forget if is that the name of it? The initial plan for her was to have like 4 EPs that combine to be a larger narrative, and I keep forgetting the name of the first EP. But that has stuff like Cold War on it. But if you're into that, Dracula's Wedding, you can also check out more of Khalees, who's feature on that. I said Kellis for a while, but I think it's Khalees. Maybe I'm wrong this time around too. Dracula's Wedding I chose because that was Halloween. Hello, you're back. Bye. You can also, it gets a little less, oh, it's still very funky, but it's not quite the same vibe if you're going into like older Prince stuff. But I was just thinking that like if I'm recommending Janelle Monáe and Andre 3000, can take a step back and go to Prince albums. They very much like Prince. I don't know how much Prince liked Outkast, but he did like Janelle Monáe. I've put Dracula's Wedding on a number of Halloween playlists, so I associate it with that a bit more. And so when I'm trying to think of similar songs, all I'm thinking of is songs that I put on my Halloween playlists, and that's not funky in the way that Andre 3K is funky. Yep, that's it. So you just like hopped onto this live. How'd you get here, Billy Twerking? William Twerking? Did it just get suggested as a live thing for you? Because it's just weird to me that like you hadn't ever seen any of the other things, but you've been committed to watching this live for a minute. Getting closer to being done. These last few stills will take less time. You're using for drawing. Trying to think of music I like listening to while drawing. Depends on my mood. Okay, you just started following from the explore page. I just was curious how you got to the live. So you started following quick and then hopped on the live because you saw it was live. That's cool. If you're looking for faster moving, more politically charged hip hop, you can check out Killer Mike's stuff. A lot of his work is more chaotic in sound because a lot of it's produced by LP, who has a much noisier sort of sound than a lot of other southern rappers' production. You may or may not like Outkast's other albums, but there's a lot of good Outkast albums. I'm aware of BTS, but I don't know their songs. Movie soundtracks. This popped up yesterday. What? Oh yeah, okay, you were watching yesterday. Shrek, that's more just like a nostalgia thing. Someone pointed out that they knew that I listened to that before. Superfly is very good. Curtis Mayfield. That's one where the album outshines the movie. I've been to a few concerts. I think The last one was probably snail mail. Mitski. And then I went to a few festivals, but usually I was just working at them. And so, saw Japanese Breakfast there, LCD Sound System, Arcade Fire. I have seen Outkast in concert. That was a while ago. Spoon, Flaming Lips. I'm aware of the Stranger Things soundtrack. That's a lot of analog synth. There's like some dude in Austin who made most of that music. Just taking old analog synths and generating noises with them, creating sounds out of the stuff. I forget the name of the, like it's some dude who runs an analog synth repair shop in Austin. At least I think that's what it is. Maybe I'm wrong. Getting closer. Got 2 more to fill in, and then hopefully my scanner doesn't act up. We will find out. Yeah, I enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy mixtape here, and it was a reminder of a lot of songs that I was like, oh yeah, oh yeah. And the second one is Cat Stevens, which makes me feel a lot about being a son. There's awesome mixtape Volume 1 and then Volume 2. Volume 2, the second movie, has Cat Stevens. Moment of truth, will my scanner work? Oh wait, no, I gotta do this thing first. I do have a TikTok, same username there. It's pretty much the same content on TikTok. Let me stand on this thing. It just sometimes has a little bit different music. Because TikTok has a different library of music to choose from. So sometimes they have something that I want, sometimes they don't. That Instagram does or doesn't. Also TikTok, the sound sources tend to be 15 seconds. Some of them are a little bit longer, but if I have a longer form animation or something, then I have to be a little bit more choosy about the music that I select for it. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same. The only other difference is that some of the cropping is such that there are white bars around some of the animations. Both my parents, my mom and dad, listened to a lot of Cat Stevens at different times. Cat Stevens, James Taylor, Simon and Garfunkel. And so those have a different sense of nostalgia and childlike experiences for me. Cat Stevens no longer. This isn't me calling you out. This is me realizing that I didn't say it. He goes by a different name now. It's like Yusuf Islam or something like that. Because he converted to Islam, and like 2003 or something was on the no-fly list or the terrorist watch list, and got stopped from coming from the UK. You ever get disorganized and catastrophically screw up one of these? I haven't done anything that bad yet with any of this stuff. But that's one reason they're numbered. Live Designs, new folder 12-09-2020. Copy that folder. There's alphabet L scans. Choose that. I live in the New York City metropolitan area. I would probably be. I wasn't old enough to be listening to Cat Stevens when it came out, but it depends on your familiarity with older music. Is usually a reflection of your immediate family. Scanner's behaving today. We'll find out soon if it craps out on me. But luckily this animation is also just generally shorter. It's faster today because it's a shorter animation, it's more straightforward. And my scanner isn't acting up as much today. That added like 30 plus minutes the past couple days. We'll see if the scanner keeps going. I'm not holding my breath that it doesn't act up. I'm more motivated when the stuff is working correctly. I try to live stream every day. There are days that I'm unable to, or days like tomorrow I won't be doing an animation because I'm going to be cooking with my sister over live stream. Or over video chat. And so I don't have as much. I gotta prep some stuff before cooking. I'll be cooking tomorrow with my sister. I'll still live stream, but it won't be for as long. Thanks, Tall Four Eyes. Scanner is working. And fingers crossed that it keeps working. All I did was add the scanner to my list of scanners. Seems to be working now. The support dude at Canon was like, it might be that the computer updated and changed something about functionality, and so the driver changed and the computer wasn't recognizing the scanner consistently or communicating well with it. And I was like, it should do better now that it knows that it's there more so. I don't know. But still, every time that, right before it actually engages the scanning, I'm like, because it makes all the same noises when it fails. It's just up to a point that it's got a slower scan of what that sound is, so it's a little bit lower pitched, and it does it for a shorter period of time. It goes, so I'm listening for that sound and hoping that I don't hear it. I've scanned with this scanner thousands of times. Hello, Siege and Facuts. I'm not sure how to say your name. I think that different cultures have more of a sense of homophobia and but being LGBTQ, isn't there another letter? I forget. Isn't part of what ethnicity you have. Being LGBTQ isn't a race. I think both homophobia and racism are bad. Hot take. Bad things are bad. Man, I'm glad that the scanner is acting correct today. Saves me like an hour. And it actually feels like I'm working. Instead of just waiting. Rename these items. Man, it's just working today? That's nice. Okay. Scripts. Load files into stack. Browse. Live designs. 12. Get all these going. Alright, well this is running for a second. I need to use the restroom. Back in a second. Almost there. Gonna have a piece of candy. I like your candy. do have Haichu. I'm almost finished. Okay. Create a frame animation. Make frames from layers. Reverse. Point 1. Well, he's got reel off. Okay, and let's crop this height. What's happening here? Ah, nice. Talking amongst themselves. Okay. Let's throw this curves on here. Darken this bit. Change this to 106. Blow that out. Save this. -09-2020 underscore alphabet L ton. Turn off display capture and bring in this image. Size 9. There you go. Yeah, it's blown out. Anyway, you guys got any questions on stuff? Curiosities? Thoughts? Ideas? Yep, I finished with it. Today's was a shorter bit because more direct. The main difference in this one from previous animations is that that sort of dragging movement towards the end when it's resetting is a little bit different. It's a much more manageable amount of time because it's just upside. Those are the two directions. And my scanner worked. Maybe that thing was a fix, or maybe I'll find out in like a day or two that it wasn't. But worked today, and I'm happy about that. Spiel time. Okay, so if you want to watch this or previous live streams in full with slightly more control over them, or just to see previous ones, you can go to YouTube, and if you search TraceLoops, should pop up. There's a bunch of live streams there. If you want to buy this or other designs on shirts, or just see what other merchandise stuff I have available, you can go to traceloops.com/store. If you do not live in the US but want to purchase something from the store, you can message me either here on Instagram, or you can email me, traceloops@traceloops.com. If you... Editing was easy. That's the easy part. If you want to follow me on TikTok, I'm on TikTok as well. It's TraceLoops, same username. It's essentially the same content, but if you want to see it in that format or share with people on that platform, stuff gets posted there, as well as time-lapse and the animation on a vertical format. I typically live stream daily at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I don't. If you want to see updates as to whether or not that may or may not be happening, you can check my stories, and I do my best to update those when I have anything that's either delayed or that I'm not live streaming for that day. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them now. I'll try to answer. I'll give you a minute for that, and then if you have questions in the future when I'm not live streaming, you can also hit up, direct message me here on Instagram, or email me, traceloops@traceloops.com. Give it a minute, have a sip of soda. Seems like I'm not getting so much in the form of questions now, which is okay, means I get to head out in just a moment, but still give it like 20 seconds because of the delay. Thank you, Eve. Which you're checking in something. Just people saying nice things, which is nice to see in the chat. Tomorrow when I live stream, I don't think I'll be animating. I'll probably just be doing a still of some kind. Friday I'll probably be able to animate. Saturday no, Sunday maybe. But I'll still plan on hopping on for like maybe an hour, give or take. Okay, it seems like you guys are not having any questions at the moment. Thank you all for watching. I'll plan on being back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not sure what that means, but if you look up New York time, New York City, what time is it in New York City? That's where I'm at. Adios, everybody.